So
precious.
fresh.
Plus it's spoiled quick.
Lobsters spoil incredibly quickly. Like as soon as they die, their tissue starts to break down from the inside out.
Yeah.
So live lobster is pretty much the best way to get it in. If you get it in dead, it's going to be very mushy. So when you inspect your lobster when they come into your restaurant, they should be alive so that that meat's still good. If they come in there dead, they're already breaking themselves down from the inside out. So anybody that doesn't feel comfortable watching us harvest this lobster right now, you don't have to watch this. So they come in live, and then one culinary theory is to just cook them whole. Bam! Just right into the hot pot of water and kill it that way. And then once it's done cooked, to get it out of its shell and get the meat out of the shell, and then you wind up with cooked shells like this. If my shells are already cooked, it makes a weaker stock. If I cook the shells with the meat right in that stock pot and then use those shells to make my bisque, I'm going to get a better flavor.
Healthier.
So Chef Michael did it this way. This is the way they do it in the industry a lot. I think it's best to not boil the animal whole, but to make the stock from raw shells. All right. So first of all, we're gonna take this guy apart right now, and this animal does not have a cerebral cortex. A cerebral cortex is the part of your brain that allows you to feel pain the way you feel it. If you're recording this, don't post it online, or else the PETA people will be all over us.
I watch YouTube on how to disassemble.
I'm on. Somebody posted a video of me already doing this. I don't care, but the animal rights people might have something to say about it.
This is seriously just for my.
All right. So, what do I mean by cerebral cortex? I'm an avid fly fisherman. I shoot the pheasants and the rabbits to tie my flies to go catch trout.
That's dope.
All right. And I'm a catch and release fisherman if I can do it right. But I also harvest the fish. So when do I catch and release? Well, I catch and release if I barely hook the fish and I plate them to the net quickly and I got the hook out clean. Oh, that fish will be no problem surviving. Man, what if I hook one in the side and I overwork the fish and I get him to the net and he's almost dead? Now take that fish home with you. The fish that I released though, he didn't feel pain the way you feel pain. Let me explain it to you this way. If you've ever been fishing and been salmon fishing or trout fishing, and sometimes you catch a fish that has a hook in its mouth, or sometimes you break the line. So a salmon, if you were to break the line, he would first be like all discombobulated and annoyed that you did that to him, but within an hour would be back in that river with the hook in his mouth, feeding. No problem, because he can't feel pain the way you do. A dog has a cerebral cortex. Let's take your pet. You have a dog? What's his name? Tigger. And just put a hook in Tigger's mouth and then let him go. No. Is Tigger going to be at the feed bowl in an hour? Tigger's going to be curled up in his house wondering why the F you just did that to him. So as fish doesn't have a cerebral cortex, they just feel pressure. This doesn't have a cerebral cortex. So it doesn't feel pain the way you do. All right, so we're going to take it apart whole. And then this way, the shells that you guys are going to use won't be already boiled. The shells that you guys are going to use in your stock are going to get brown from the raw phase. All right, so to take this thing apart, I'm going to grab its thorax, I'm going to grab its tail, I'm going to twist. I'm going to put the tail in here. Then I'm just going to pop off the claws, and I'm going to take my thumbs and just separate the head. I'm going to do it very quickly. He's going to go into shock, and he won't feel much at all. Are you ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Done.
Sweet.
Send me that video.
Yeah. The tail's still moving, dude.
Shit. All right, so
Man, don't beat up.
so the animal, it may still be moving, but he is no longer with us.
Yeah.
He's in a better place right now. These are just nerves happening. If you really want to make the tail jump, just squeeze his butthole. Boop, there it goes right there. No, I'm serious. You want to see it again?
Go for it.
Right there's the little, right? Just give it a little whoop. Oh, he's not going to do it for me now. There he goes. There he goes. All right. So claws, just remove the rubber bands at this point. Don't ever do this before. They'll break. This thing could break your thumb. Easily break your thumb bone. Now this part. What is this?
Tamale.
Nope.
Is it the
That's the coral.
coral?
So look in my bin right here. See the individual eggs? It's coming from the core. That's the roe. That's the lobster eggs. And when you cook them, They turn this an amazing bright red color, and the flavor is garbage. It doesn't really have much flavor, but it has great color, so we're gonna use it. The tamale is this part. This is the tamale. That's digestive stuff. It tastes great. Never get rid of it. So inside the head, there's more tamale, there's more roe. The heart is in here as well. All right. So all of this stuff is great. There's only one thing that's not great, and those are the gills. The gills are these outside feathery-like structure that I'm going to put into the garbage here. Just get rid of them. They don't taste very good at all. They'll actually even give it ammonia flavor. So here, who here knows how to make a lobster stock? How do you make it? You got a hand up?
No,
that was a no scratch. Who here has ever made a lobster stock? How about a shell? How about a shrimp stock? What'd you do when you made your shrimp bisque and foundations?
Shrimp basket?
Your shrimp bisque. What'd you do?
Put the shells in the pot of water, bring it up, and then just.
No, you put color on the shells first. Oh yeah, big pot, oil in the pan, and you put those shrimp shells in the hot fat, and you get the shells to color up. And then you can do a little mirepoix, you get a little color on that, a little tomato paste. Then once everything's browning, hit the pan with some brandy or white wine and deglaze, and then add water and make your shrimp stock. That's what I want you to do with the lobster. So you'll use this part, you'll use this part, now that I have all the gills off of here. All right, you will use these as well. You're gonna use this as well. He's still moving. But one thing, stop it. One thing, stop it. Sit. One thing we'll do though is just split the tail ahead of time. All right, so now your culinary theory as students in my class is I'm like, all right, I want you to brown all that to make your stock, but don't overcook the meat. Get the meat out and put the shells back in your stock. All right, so let's go through that step. I'm gonna take a nice big rondeau, and into the rondeau is gonna go the tail pieces. Into the rondeau is gonna go the claw pieces. Into the rondeau is gonna go the body and the shell. And I'm gonna start browning all this stuff up. When you see the tail fully curl up and you feel that meat is firm, just take it out and put the shell back in your pot and save the meat. Once you're kind of colored up and you're like, wow, I got color on my shells, I got a little mirepoix in there, we're gonna use a ½ pound of mirepoix, Atticus has it going on. Then he's gonna be like, wow, the shells have color, I got my tail meat out, it's not overcooked. Now I'm gonna deglaze that pan with some brandy. Once he deglazes and the steam from that deglazing comes up, these will be done too. Then we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna open these up, we're gonna get the meat out, put it aside for the soup tomorrow, and get the shells right back into the stock pot for making our stock. Next thing I want you guys to understand, a really cool technique with lobsters is it's a marrying technique. Where Atticus is gonna make this. He's gonna brown up the shells, brown up the mirepoix, get the meat out before it's overcooked, add the tomato paste, deglaze with brandy and white wine, and then he's gonna add his cold water, and he's gonna boil this lobster stock for how long? How long do we boil fish stocks?
45 minutes?
45 minutes to an hour and a half, something like that, right? Not a long period of time. But then Atticus is not gonna strain. Atticus is gonna take his little pot that he's making his lobster bisque in, his lobster stock in, and just cool everything down together. And then he's gonna put it in plastic and leave it together overnight. You've not done this yet.
No.
Where you leave the stock intact. Then tomorrow, Atticus is gonna come on the stove, fire it back up, get it to a simmer, then strain. Have you ever made a tomato sauce today and tasted it and be like, it's okay, and then you refrigerate it, and then you come back to it tomorrow and you're like, wow, that's better. That's what we're gonna do with this lobster stock. It's called ripening or marrying flavors together. Cool? Yep. That's your demonstration. Get back to your cooking.
Thanks, Chef.